Welcome to Equation Rearranging with Mr. C. The objective of this lesson is that you can rearrange any equation to solve for a specific variable. You'll do this so that you can solve a lot of different problems from one equation. You'll know you have it when you can rearrange any equation for a specific variable every single time. Equations are great. Plug in some known values, get something new. Hopefully, it's what you're looking for and it answers your question. But let's take a look at some examples here. Look at this. In this equation, and that's what you call this, f equals ma is an equation. Don't worry about what the variables are right now. Just look at the equation. How many different equations do you think are there? Take a few seconds to think about it. Okay? If you said 3, you'd be exactly right. Basically, every single variable in an equation, it can be rearranged to solve for that variable. Let's see how. We'll use that same equation again. That'll be our simple example. Okay? F equals ma. Now, got this equation? Let's say you want to solve for a. Okay? What do you have to do? Well, you got to get rid of that m on the right. In order to do that, you got to do a little mathematics. The key here is this. Do the same thing to both sides of the equation. If you do that every single time, it'll always work for you. So here, we wanted the a. So you divide by m to get rid of the m's there. You got to divide by m over here. That got rid of your m's. Now your equation is a is equal to f over m. When you're writing these out, don't worry about making sure that the single variable is on the left or anything like that. This is fine. This is a good answer for me. Okay? That's a second equation. F equals ma was your first. This is your second. A equals f over m. Now, let's try and figure out what m is. Hopefully, you know this by now. Do it on the side on a piece of paper. See if you come up with the right answer. Take a few seconds. Okay? Your first step, divide both sides by a. That's where you get rid of the a's. You do that, boom. F over a equals m. There's your third equation, all from knowing one equation. Okay? Simple example, easy to do. You probably didn't even have to write anything down, did it in your head. Let's look at something a little more complex. Okay? Here's our initial equation. K equals 1/2 kx squared. You say, how can you have k on both sides? Look closely. Are both k's the same? If you'll notice, the one on the left is a capital K. The one on the right is a lowercase k. In physics, case is very important. So this is really two separate variables. Now in this one, we want to just solve for x. So, first step, get rid of the numerical parts. In this case, that's the 1/2. The square on the x is not a numerical part. That's a variable. But the number 1/2 you can get rid of. Multiply both sides by 2. Do that. The 1/2 went out on the right, and you're left with this. 2k equals kx squared. Okay? Now, what's the next thing you want to get rid of? Remember, you're going for the x. Get rid of that little k. Divide both sides by lowercase k. The k goes out on the right. you're left with this. Hey, you're cheering, you got it, right? Not so fast. You have x squared. You want x. So in order to get rid of the squared sign, you need to take the square root of both sides. Now you took the square root of the whole x squared side. You need to take the square root of the whole 2 capital K over little k side as well. You do that, reduce it one more time, and you got this. That is your final equation. When you do ones like this that are a little more complex, write them out carefully, one line for each step, and be neat. A grader on the AP test, they're going to look at this, and if they can't follow your logic and you have a mistake, you're going to lose all the credit. If it's neat and they follow your logic and see that you just made one minor error somewhere, you might at least get partial credit. And partial credit will help a lot. So, summary, here we go. Equation rearranging. Okay, you can solve for any single variable in a problem. Do the same action to both sides of the equation, and always, always, always be neat. I hope this helps. If you need anything more on more complex equations, you can see me in class. Thank you.